Okay, so today we're going to be doing addition and subtraction of expressions. So this is in your math workbook, right? Reteaching 8-4. So we have worked with patterns before, so we're now bringing in this pattern, but today we're going to be creating a rule, which we haven't done before. So we've looked at tables before, and we have a variable v, okay, and then these variables, you can see that the letter changes. So we have a variable v, and we're going to look at this table, and what we're going to do is we're going to compare the numbers in each column of the table. So we're going to look at these two numbers, 57 and 50. And right, we've done this before. So we want to look at the difference between these two numbers, right? So I see the number on the bottom is 50 and the number on the top is 57. So when we're looking at, right, V, what is happening here? Okay. So when V is 57, this other number down below becomes 50. So what is my rule? Well, 57 is 7 more than 50, right? So again, we can kind of look at the directions here. So to find a rule and to write an expression, look at the numbers being compared, right? Which is the greater number? So we know 57 is. So if we're looking at 57 and 50, 57 is greater than 50. So when we know we're dropping, the number is going down, we're going to be subtracting some number from 57 so that it becomes 50, right? So we're looking down here. So because this is the bigger number. So when we're looking at the difference between the two, 57, we're going to take 57 and we're going to subtract the 50, right? Which is 7. So the difference is 7. This number down here is 7 less, right? So I'm just going to put minus 7 here. Now, if I look here, I want to see if this pattern changes at all. 28 and 21. 28 is the bigger number. 21, this number is smaller. So what happens from 28 for it to become 21? So again, I'm looking at the difference between those numbers. So 28 minus 21 is 7 again, right? So I would have to take away 7. So take away 7 from 28 to make that number 21. So if I were to repeat this pattern, I want to check that here. What happens with 10 so that it becomes a 3? If we do 10, take away 7, 10 minus 7 is 3. So there is our pattern. So when we create an expression, a rule would be if V is 57, we would have to take away 7. So here it says the expression is V minus 7. So V, whatever that number is, we have to take 7 away from it. Whatever V is equal to, I've got to take 7 away from it in order to get to my number. Okay, so if I were to create any number here, I'm going to add on here. If I said the number was 20, what would my number be? My answer down here. If V were 20, I'm going to substitute that in. So 20 take away 7 would be 13. So this number down here would be 13. Okay, so I'm going to practice. I'm going to go through these first few with you to find the rule, and then your practice is going to be numbers 3 and 4. We will do 5 and 6 in class, and depending on time, we'll work on the practice side. Okay, so find a rule for each table. So again, the rule is going to be R, right? That's my variable. So when R is 24, what do I have to do to R so that my number becomes 11? I know 24 is bigger than 11, so I know there's going to be, I'm going to have to subtract, right, a number in order to reach 11. So I'm going to take 24. I need to find the difference. So 24 minus 11. 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So it looks like I subtract 13. R minus 13. Now I'm going to check this rule. I'm going to keep going to make sure that I have my pattern correct. So if R is 28, so I'm going to replace this R with 28. I'm just going to write it down below. And if I were to take this 13, 28 minus 13, let's see if we end up with 15. I'm going to rewrite it here so I can actually solve the problem. 28 minus 13. 8 minus 3 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. Ah, there you go. So my rule is r minus 13. Okay, so you're looking at your number. It's not always going to be subtraction. Sometimes your number is going to get bigger. Sometimes your number is going to get smaller. We need to look for the rule. So I'm going to move over to problem number 2. So my variable is f. And I'm looking at when f is 17, what do I need to do with this number so that it becomes 21? Ah, now I notice that 21 is bigger than 17. So I'm not going to take anything away from 17. I need to add a number to 17 to make it 21. So I know this expression has to be addition. So 17 and 21, I can use my fingers to count up or I can just subtract. I'm going to subtract using the bigger number, 21. I can't take 21 away from 17. So 21 minus 17, right? So that's 11. So 11 minus 7 is 4. I can even count up from my fingers, right? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 4. Still get the same answer. So I would have to add 4 in order, right, to the variable f in order to reach this number. So if f was 17, I'm going to plug in that number, 17. If I were to add 4 to 17, I should get 21. That's right, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There you go. If I were to add, the rule would be to add 4. If I were to add 4 to 41, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Ah, there we go. So I'm adding 4 to my f variable, whatever that value is. I'm adding 4 to get my answer. Okay, so my rule here would be f plus 4. Okay, so your pre-work is to complete the answer here. So C, when C is 7, what do I have to do to the 7 to make it 32? Right? Well, right. So you're going to find that. You're going to find that. Now, once you find the rule, you're going to have one added layer here. When C is 15, you're going to fill in this blank. Okay, I can do the same thing here. So for example, if I were to say, if I know my rule is f plus 4, I can create any number I want here. I'll just say 10. If f is 10, what would this number be down here? Well, if I were to say if f is 10, I'm just going to write 10 there instead, right? The f is 10. I'm going to add my plus 4. 10 plus 4 is 14, right? So I could fill this in. So you're going to do that here. Find the rule. You're going to write your rule up above, and then you're going to fill in what this number would be if C were 15. Same thing here for number 4. If H were 40, what would this number be? Okay, so write your rule and then find your missing number. Okay.